What's up, guys? Welcome to Geek Weekly. This is your host, Tyler Kelly, signing on, and I'm here today on the first Haunted October. Tyler Teaches. Talk to you about 5 to 7. Let's go 7 kids that are the thing of nightmares. Like you thought babysitting was bad. Robert Thompson and John Benables were only 10 years old when they committed their heinous act. They were actually in the mall when they watched James Bolger, a 3-year-old, walking with his mother in the mall. They ended up grabbing him and led him away. And when they finally got him to where he couldn't be anywhere near and out of earshot and everything, they actually did the most terrifying things that they ever did. Could have ever done. They beat him, threw bricks at him. They put rocks and stuff on his head, piled them. They also violated and sodomized him with batteries. And they finally did end his life. They ended up putting it on train tracks so as a way to have it being cut in half. They were actually held for 8 years. 8 total years until their trial. And when their trial was deemed unfair, they were let go and granted anonymity. They were remained anonymous so as to not be tracked down by a vengeful public. In 1993, 13-year-old Eric Smith brutally murdered Derek Robbie. Robbie was walking away from the recreation park a block away from his house. And he was only 4. Smith ended up grabbing him and put him in the woods, where he beat Robbie with rocks, sodomized him with a stick, and mutilated and abused his body even after he was dead. It was up there in heinous acts as far as adults. So to think about it as a kid. And this is one of the biggest ones that the U.S. had ever seen. He is actually serving currently, as of this recording, a maximum sentence for juvenile murders, 9 years to life. Since 2002, he's been denied parole countless times, up to and most recently in April 2014. The sad part is, every time he's been interviewed, not one of them could even fathom that they were talking to a murderer, as he's been calm. He's so gentle and sincere and normal to them. Just goes to show you don't know what anybody could be doing or thinking. At age 12, Jasmine Richardson would not be thought to be anything more than just a normal little girl. Unfortunately, though, her mother did not like that she had a 23-year-old boyfriend named Jeremy Stank. In 2006, Jeremy convinced all of his friends that he was a 300-year-old werewolf, up to and including Jasmine, and ended up going to Jasmine's house in the middle of the night, where they killed her mom and her dad downstairs. Stank did. He killed both her mom and her dad. And then ended up calling Jasmine up to her room, her brother's room, her 8-year-old brother, and had her stab him in the chest. They ended up fleeing to the closest town they could, which was 100 miles away, which I guess isn't the closest town, so what I've been reading is wrong. But when they were caught and put on trial, they ended up sending letters back and forth, only discussing their relationship from different prisons, never once showing remorse for their actions, just discussing their relationship. Stank is now serving 3 life sentences consecutively. His name is now Jackson May, and Jasmine is currently in a mental institution and is apparently feeling sorry for her crimes. In 2009, 15-year-old Alyssa Bustamante had her little sister lure a 9-year-old away from her house, and she bumped into her the 9-year-old being Elizabeth Olton. Whenever she bumped into Elizabeth, she led her into a wooded area and everything, and she stabbed her in the chest, strangled her, sliced her throat, all because she wanted to know exactly what it was to kill someone. She wanted to know what it felt like. Now, she would have gotten away with it because she put it in a shallow grave, buried it with trees. The reason she was even caught is because she actually put it in her diary. I have the diary quote right here. This one I couldn't write down and everything. And this is quoted from her. This is basically what she said. And there is a swear word in it, so if it offends you, please cover your ears at that point. I just fucking killed someone. I strangled them and I slit their throat, stabbed them, and now they're dead. I don't know how I feel ATM at the moment. It was amazing with AH, amazing. As soon as you get past the, oh my god, I can't do this feeling, it's pretty enjoyable. I'm kind of nervous and shaky though right now. Okay, gotta go to church now. ... LOL. Bustamante later confessed after she was caught, she actually dug 2 graves, saying that her twin brothers were actually going to be the initial target. So she ended up having 3 graves dug, and 2 were supposed to be for her twin brothers. She was then presently arrested and incarcerated. Well, Josh Phillips was playing baseball in 1998 one day, and he accidentally hit his neighbor, an 8-year-old, named Maddie Clifton, in the eye with a bat by accident. Well, she screamed, and out of panic, of just like, oh my gosh, what did I do? He ended up taking her to his house and tried to strangle her with a bone cord. That didn't kill her, unfortunately. He said that she had to suffer in his eyes. He ended up stabbing her 11 times and then beat her to death with a baseball bat. He was about to get away with it because he had actually named a suspect a week after her disappearance. And everybody didn't even think it could have been him. It was until that she found that his mother found his mattress leaking, not knowing what it was. She just assumed it was water. Well, she moved the mattress, and under her son's mattress laid Maddie Clifton. He was then convicted of murder and is now serving a life sentence without any possibility of parole. Unfortunately, I do not have a name for this next crime, as it was withheld due to his age. But in 2012, a 12-year-old boy in Maryland had a foster living with his family, a foster child, I do believe a girl. She was 2. He hit her 6 times, as he stated, but the autopsy reported that it was over 50 external and internal injuries. One of the motives that's being thrown around is that he was actually jealous of Anya Batchelor, is her name, her presence in the family, which was potentially the motivation to why he committed it. And unfortunately, though, because of that, he did not go to jail. He did not go anywhere, excluding the fact that, because the judge believed that he did not know the gravity of this situation of what he just did. He was instead sentenced to therapeutic foster care. In July of 1968, Mary Bell and her friend ended up murdering 3-year-old Brian Howe, as well as leaving his body, in the nearby areas, like a wasteland and everything. But before they left him, Mary ended up mutilating his corpse and cutting in a giant M on his stomach. They were both convicted on 2 counts of manslaughter, both because of their age and Mary's psychiatric evaluation, where she showed plenty of signs for psychopathy. She was held until 23 and then set free, and she remains that till this day. Thank you all for joining me in this episode of Haunted October Tyler Teaches. And hopefully you remember these stories next time you're babysitting. because you just don't know who or what you're taking care of. Thank you guys. This is your host of Geek Weekly, Tyler Kelly, signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Remember, like, comment, share. Love you guys.